I wanted to talk about it. The topic was black men choose white women over black women because men think black women are too, they said, masculine. They did this as if they aren't really masculine. And they're like, black men think black women are too bitter or too angry or too controlling or whatever. And they said, whereas white women are submissive and they're stupid and they let men do whatever and run over top of them, and they let men just sit around on the couch all day and spend up all their money or whatever. And a black woman is not having that. A black woman is going to tell a black man what he needs to do as a man. And they were saying we have to be masculine as black women because men do not protect us. They do not provide for us. They rather do it for white women. But when it comes to us, we have to be aggressive with them and fuss at them and yell at them.
She's quoting some other people, right? Some other person.
To tell them what they need to do in order for them to do these things to us. Like, we have to raise them up. And so I listened to these women. I understood everything that they were saying, but I asked one of them if she could explain to me her situation, her personal situation. And she was like, yeah, her man, she said, my man sit around at home on a couch all day. He don't do nothing. He don't help me with no bills. All he do is get high all the time. And I be having to tell him, get your ass up off my couch. You're not gonna be sitting in my house all day, every day. You gonna help me. You gonna do things around the house. You gonna help me with these kids. You need to go get a job. You need to, and she was just saying, like, she said sometimes she'll have to tell them, you acting like your damn daddy. You ain't shit. You ain't gonna be shit just like him. You need to do this. You need to do that. And so as she was saying these things, she was kind of giggling. And the other woman in the room, you could tell that they were like, oh my God, me too. They were like giving each other high five, like, girl, yes, me too. I be having to tell my man the same thing. He just like his daddy. He don't do this and he don't do that. Oh my goodness. Oh my
But they selected the men in their lives.
goodness. And so I listened to them. And after they finished yelling and screaming over top of each other, because that's how a lot of black women talk to each other, whatever. After they finished, I said, it's not wrong to want your man to be a protector and a provider. You're not wrong for wanting that. As a woman, all of us should want that from our man, because naturally men were warriors. They were hunters. They were gatherers. You know, these are things that they did. They were protectors and providers. By nature. They're leaders and they provided guidance and all of that stuff by nature. So absolutely you should want your man to do that. And any man that does not have a natural instinct to do these things, can we actually refer to him as a man? No. So
should not even
you're not wrong for wanting that. What's wrong, however, is your approach. You are not going to make a man change. You can, however, inspire change in a man, but you're not going to inspire change in him with the approach that you have, by being aggressive with him, by yelling at him, by telling him that he ain't shit, by pointing out all his flaws, by telling him everything that he does wrong, by belittling him, by disrespecting him. None of that is going to make him change. If anything, that is going to make him resent you and make him want a white woman even more. I never try to justify why men want white women, because I still feel like that's not an excuse, but that is just one of the reasons why black men do prefer white women over black women. It's not because white women are stupid and submissive. It's because you are disrespectful and you do not respect him as a man.
There's also the aspect of black men marry black women at a higher percentage than they marry outside their race. Black men are very, very loyal. I'm not in the US setting, but she is. I think black men actually marry within their race like 70-something% upwards. So I don't have the stats here. Maybe I can put that later on, but they are very, very faithful to their race. The aspect of women complaining that black men don't want them. There's this cultural black woman over there. Even here in Nigeria, we kind of make jokes of it, but it's not a good image for men to tolerate. A woman, when you think of a woman, is someone that when they come into your house, they bring peace. So when you bring a woman, or rather when you are dating a lady and you never experience this peace, number one, you will not marry her. Number two, you won't, even if you are married to her, you want to leave that place every single time. So there is a bad, black women should not accept this aspect of being bossy. It's not going to help you. You give the feminine energy, the man gives the masculine energy. It helps. There's a synergy. You have to utilize it. If it's not present, the man will not want to be around you.
Now, the next question I had for this woman was, did she have sex with her man? And she was like, well, yeah, of course, I still have needs. This is where I got a little irked and things got a little awkward, because this is an issue with the black community, with black women in general. You're going to sit around and talk about everything he does wrong. He don't do this right. He don't do that right. He don't protect. He don't provide. He lazy. He ain't got no drive, no ambition, no goals, no nothing. Yet he's in your house. You're giving him money to buy weed, and you're having sex with him. If you have no standards, what makes you think he is going to live up to them? You got to have standards first, honey. Why is he even, how do you even get for a man with no drive, no goals, no ambition, no nothing? How? Why are you even accepting him in your home? And that is one of the issues. We allow these men to get everything that a good man is deserving of. Our attention, our love, our sex, our body, all of that, our minds. We give all of that, all this energy to these men that we say that aren't good men. But why? Why would you do that? Why would he change if he's already getting everything that he wants from you? It's no reason for him to change. You're not giving him a reason to change. You're giving him everything he wants, right? And then I had to just think about it for a second, because I could feel the room was getting heated, but I didn't care. And I had to just be real. And the real fact of the matter is, a lot of sisters do not want good men. They prefer these type of brothers that don't have goals, that don't have a good job, that don't have drive, that don't have ambition, that aren't good protectors, that lack in these areas where a man should be plentiful in. They go for these type of men instead of a good man, because when they have this type of brother, they can tell him everything he's doing wrong. They can belittle him. They can disrespect him. And they like that. That's why when they were talking about it, they were laughing, they were giggling, they were giving each other high five. Like, yes, I talk to my man like that too. I have to tell my man that too. Ha ha ha. They think it's funny.
It's also two ways. It's not only because they like controlling that type of man. There's also the aspect of the kind of guys the lady is attracted to are the kind of guys that get ladies easily, as in they are very attractive to ladies. They are the taller guys, the buff guys. Not saying guys in general can be buff, but that combination generally, rather, that genetic combination is very hard to get. So they are very rare, and they can afford to be lazy. They can afford not to provide because they get sex easily. So ladies then fall into traps, into this kind of guys traps, and expect those kind of guys that get rewarded easily to step up and become a hardworking provider. It doesn't happen that way. You have to gauge whether that person is a hardworking provider before you reward that person with sex or even children. So I'm guessing the context that they are in here is not a marriage context, which I do not support. I'm a Christian. I don't support any other relationship outside marriage, but that is their own situation at the moment. You should vet your people before you get into relationships with them. And if they do not qualify for what you expect them to do during marriage and you sleep with them, don't expect them to now qualify, because your vetting was already poor.
Because they like the idea that they feel superior over their man. They like feeling like they are in control of him. They like that position of authority, of power. They like being able to say, get the off my couch. I'm about to kick you out my house. You need to do this. You ain't shit. They like being able to talk to men like that. They like that. But if the role was reversed and they did have a good man, now they can't talk to him like that. They can't be disrespectful to him. Now they actually have to watch their mouth. Now they have to level up. Now they might actually have to be submissive. Hold up. This is one of the reasons why women prefer those type of men over good men. Because a good man is a man that is plentiful in all these areas where these other men lack. The brothers that you do pay attention to, they lack in these areas where good men actually have this stuff. You know, they have the goal, the ambition, the drive. If they don't have a lot of money, they're working towards it. You know what I mean? They are protectors. They are leaders. They provide guidance and all this, the knowledge and the strategic planning and all this other stuff that comes with being a good, strong, masculine black man. They have all of this. So now he can actually turn around and tell you where you lack as a female. as a feminine woman. He can say, you're not feminine enough. You're not nurturing enough. You're not.
Very true. I can't imagine myself being in a relationship with someone I love and not be able, or rather not be willing to help that person, not be willing to put a smile on that person's face, not be willing to take on my role as a man and provide, because I get joy from it. I do that for my own extended family. So a man that does not enjoy doing that, you make him your partner, your sexual partner, you've lost, because you cannot teach him to love doing what he doesn't love doing. Don't even bother. Find a man that loves taking care of the people around him, all right, that loves providing for the people under him. The Bible says a man that doesn't take care of his family is worse than an infidel. That is, if you thought he was a Christian before, just take him as he's an unbeliever. He doesn't even acknowledge God at all. That's how it is. So imagine a man now that enjoys providing for his family, that puts his neck out there, that works hard. What type of woman will he want? The kind of woman that will try to control him like a remote control, or the kind of woman that will listen to him, because he's always sticking his neck outside. So these are the kind of things you also need to consider, and that's why she's also correct in this aspect. The kind of man they like is the kind of man that they can control, which is the opposite of the kind of man that provides for his family. The kind of man that provides for his family knows what he wants. The kind of man that provides for his family is not easily controlled. He listens to advice, but he's not a puppet. And most modern ladies want puppets. They don't want husbands. They don't want spouses. They don't want somebody that they can help. They want somebody that can give them
affectionate enough. You're not sexual enough. You don't have sex enough. You're not sensual enough. You're not creative enough. You don't teach your children enough. You don't cook decent meals enough. You don't keep this house clean enough. And if a man tells you that, now, oh my goodness, he is controlling. He's a misogynist. He is a chauvinist. But it's okay for you to point out everything that a man does wrong. It's okay for you to tell him what he needs to do. It's okay for you to point out all his flaws and tell him all the areas he lacks as a man, but a man can't do that to you. That is a problem with black women, and we need to stop that. It is a huge problem. And a man that is a good man, he has standards. He's going to want you to do better. The same way you're going to want your no good brother to do better. He's going to want you to do better too, because he has options. And that's another thing. Another reason why sisters don't want good men, because good men have options, and they understand that these women these options, they're good women. But the brother that's not a good man, his options are not women. They're the type of woman that you would say are no competition, right? So you don't have nothing to worry about with him. You feel like he only gonna be with some type of bummy chick, you think. But with a good man, he has some real good options. So you got to level up. That means you got to do some work with yourself. You have to change some things. You have to improve in some areas. You have to elevate. And sisters don't really, they're not trying to really work on nothing. This whole feminist movement have made women feel like they're just perfect. Nothing they do is wrong. It's all on a man. So when you do have a good man, that's like, oh no, you need to work on this. You need to.
Imagine if a man, or rather if men all around the world say, we are perfect. We don't need women, or let's just say we are perfect. We are the ones adding value to a woman. A woman doesn't, or rather, we don't need to do anything to get a woman. How stupid will you think those guys are? So imagine how guys see that same phrase, that I'm perfect, I'm a queen. It's stupid to us. It makes no sense. So the same way it looks stupid for guys, that's the same way it looks stupid when ladies say it. So whenever you get into that mentality, please just pause. You didn't do anything to be perfect. Perfect means you don't need to add to yourself to be better. It means you are at the pinnacle of yourself, which is impossible. So imagine someone entering into a relationship with that attitude. The relationship won't go anywhere, because you will always feel the problem is with the other person, not you. Me, myself, I know I need to improve in a lot of things. I learn a lot. I read a lot. I explore new things. I take advice. I take feedback. I take criticisms. I need to improve. Because when my spouse comes, when we settle down, things are not going to be smooth. Things will change. Things will go wrong. And if I do not acknowledge my own bad parts, we will end up killing each other. So don't ever enter into a relationship thinking you are the how do I put it? You are the prize. Don't ever enter a relationship thinking you are the prize. Remove that nonsense attitude from your life and always enter into a relationship like this. I need to impact good things into my partner. And if you don't have somebody you want to impart good things into, don't enter the relationship. Don't do it based on feelings. Don't do it based on butterfly attraction or whatever, or lust. Because the marriage is not going to be rosy. I know most people nowadays don't even consider marriage. My advice is not for people who don't want to get married. It's for people who want to get married. So people who don't want to get married, that's your own case. I'm not here for you guys, because to me, you are already, rather not to me. In God's eyes, you will be sinning. So I will not be encouraging you in your sin. So my advice for you people who don't want to get married, please consider it, because that's the only environment you can raise children in a very sane way. So I won't be finishing the video like always, because the original creator also needs your views. Please go and check her out. Her name is Sarah Lena. Please go and check out the full video. I skipped some part also from the beginning, and you can get the full gist from the video. But that's all I have to say about it. Please, let's take relationships more seriously and not complain. Although this one was tailored towards the black community in the US, we can also get some snippets from her commentary and improve in our own relationships also. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel so that you can see more of my videos and also help me out. Leave your comments down below and I'll be checking them out. Bye-bye.